What's going on, YouTube? Bandit here, back again with my wizard. Today we've got just another informative video for you. As most of you, most likely all of you know who are watching this video, there is going to be a big patch coming. Nobody really knows when, but it's going to be relatively soon, I'm sure. 2.1 for Reaper of Souls. Now, I've been hearing, this and that about what's going to be different, what's going to be changing, and I haven't really looked at the patch notes until just a few days ago. And man, I'm really excited about it now, and I've been reading into the stuff that's going to be changing, mostly for the wizard. You guys have been watching my videos. All of my videos so far have been with the wizard. He's the guy I'm most comfortable with right now. I'm working on getting some more gear and leveling up some of my other characters right now. So I'll make videos about them once I'm more familiar and comfortable with them, but the wizard for me is where it's at right now. So I'll be going over the particular patch notes for 2.1 that will apply to the wizard. So just relax, hopefully you'll learn something that you didn't know, and we'll get right into it after I shout out my newest subs. Alright, so first up we've got the Arcane Orb, weapon damage being increased from 381% to 435%. So we've got a little bit of an increase there, but there's a couple of runes that are also getting buffed as well. And we've got the Arcane Orbit, explosion weapon damage increased from 236% to 265%. It's really not that significant at all, therefore I will really not be looking forward to using this. It's not on my radar at all. It's something that I need to try out. I never used it before. This is probably more for if you're trying to be like, melee, close quarters, as opposed to a ranged wizard. But it's just not my cup of tea, but if you're into Arcane Orbit, there you go. Obliteration, we've got right here, and that is a weapon damage increase from 509% to 700%. Obliterate is okay. The only thing I don't really like about it isn't, it's really better for one-on-one situations. It doesn't pierce. It doesn't really have an area of effects. So, one-on-one situations when you got a bunch of stuff coming at you, it's not really going to help you out. But they are giving it quite a damage increase, so it may be worth checking out. Alright, moving on over here to Arcane Torrent. It now initially deals 370% weapon damage and increases by 105% weapon damage per second, capping at 895%. So that's pretty sizable. I've used Arcane Torrent, I've messed around with it. It's not bad. I just prefer to use other things, but with 895% weapon damage increase, I'll probably give it a shot just to see how it goes there. We'll go down here to Arcane Mines. It's going to get a weapon damage increase of 688, from 688% to 825%. Now to the Death Blossom, it deals 1,215% weapon damage initially, and then it increases by 370% every second until it caps at 3,065%. That's pretty beast mode if you ask me. The only thing I don't like about Death Blossom though is that you simply can't control where it goes, it's just random, and that doesn't really fly with me. But I'll probably give it a shot just to see what kind of damage it can do at 3,065% weapon damage. Next up, we've got Blizzard. Not a lot going on with Blizzard. It's getting a weapon damage increase 807% to 910%. And the Unrelenting Storm rune is just getting an increase from 1296 to 1360. So, I wasn't really a big fan of Blizzard when I used it. Whatever. Alright, now, Disintegrate, I thought what they were doing with that was interesting, just because I always thought Disintegrate was probably one of the more powerful skills. It's initially dealing 360% weapon damage and increasing by 100% weapon damage every second to a maximum of 860. So after 5 seconds of continuous blasting, you'll be capping at 860%, which is less than Arcane Torrent. I don't know, I just figured that Disintegrate, I always thought Disintegrate did more damage than Arcane Torrent, but now that I know that, I might have to test out Arcane Torrent and see if I can get comfortable with that, since it's doing a little more damage, 35% more damage. It's not like 100% more damage or anything. It's a little, but still, I'm curious now. So down here, the entropy rune for disintegrated initially deals 465% weapon damage. It increases by 145% every second up to a max of 1,190%. So, you know, whatever. I'm not really that big into entropy, never really used it, but I'm sure there's somebody out there somewhere that does, and that's what you'll be getting. Alright, now we've got the energy twister, and it is getting a weapon damage increase from 1,000% to 1,525%. Now that's pretty good. And more importantly, though, we're going to check out the Raging Storm rune. Weapon damage increases from 1,935% to 3,200%. Now this may be something I want to try out now, because I heard back in the day before one of the previous buffs, the Energy Twister was like the bomb skill to use. A lot of people were using it. It was really overpowered, and then, you know, the patch came, and I guess they really dulled it down. So maybe they're trying to restore it to its former glory, and I'm definitely interested in giving this one a shot. You know, tornadoes are always cool and shit. I've never really used it before. I'm usually getting killed from the ones that the bosses create or whatever, but I'm definitely going to try this one out, and maybe I can go ham with this thing. Alright, now Explosive Blast is one of the ones I'm excited about. Pretty much every rune is getting a damage buff, so a damage increase. So I'll just go ahead and throw those up on the screen so I'm not just rattling off numbers and percentages for this whole one, because I've got a big one coming up next I want to talk about too. But I'm excited about this one because with all the little damage increases and everything, and getting that Wand of Woe, I've been on the search for the Wand of Woe. Because you get those 3 additional explosive blasts after you cast it. So 4 altogether. I've been seeing wizards running around all over the place, just popping it off here and there, and it looks fun to use. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that, and definitely looking forward to giving this a shot during 2.1. Now on to the Hydras. Now the Hydras is my specialty. Like, I've used the Hydras a lot. I use them in regular gameplay every day. And I'm really comfortable with the Hydras, and this is probably the one I'm most excited about. And they're going to be getting a damage increase from 66% to 195. But the thing that's important is you've got the... I guess I better go over here and show you what's up. The thing that's important is that they've all got damage increases, okay? But the Mammoth Hydra is the one that you want to keep your eye on. It's going from 178% to 400%. Now, I've given this a shot in some rifts with J-How, and we had 4 Hydras up in a T5, and it was just melting stuff. So I'm pretty sure you get that Serpent Sparker wand, so you can get those 2 Mammoth Hydras, and with this damage increase, you won't have any problems just running through stuff. Throw up the black hole so you can get this stuff grouped together, and it's going to be incredible. I'm really excited to use that on the regular with that damage increase, and I'm probably going to be doing some like challenge videos and stuff with it. I know in the greater rifts you're going to be able to do like time runs and all that stuff, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming, a lot of great buffs, man, and this is probably the one I'm most excited for. Alright, now over here to Magic Missile, it's getting its weapon damage increase from 170% up to 230%, and the runes that will be affected are Charged Blast. It's going from 240% up to 325%, but they completely redid Conflagrate. This is the one that you want to pay attention to. It will now pierce through the enemies, causing them to burn for 130% weapon damage for 3 seconds, and the burn damage will stack up to 3 times. And any fire damage dealt to the burning enemies will refresh the stacks to their maximum duration. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty big deal there. And I'm definitely looking forward to use this, because this is exactly what I use. So I'm anxious to see how it'll better my game. And also the Seeker Missile, it's going to get its weapon damage increase from 211% up to 285%. Not that much, but... just a little bit there for you for the guys that use that. Now moving on over here to Meteor. Upon impact, the weapon damage is going to be going from 501% up to 610%, and the mold fire weapon damage that surrounds the initial impact is going from 167 up to 195 over 3 seconds. The runes that we're going to be talking about with this one are going to be Comet, And the freezing mist weapon damage is going to be increased from 197 to 224% over 3 seconds. And the molten impact over here, it's going to be going from 549% to 625% over 3 seconds. Now, it's a lot going on with Meteor. I'm happy about that too because I do use Meteor with my fire build. So I've got the Meteor getting buffed, I've got the Hydras getting buffed, I got Magic Missile getting buffed, all the stuff I'm using, so I'm pretty pumped about this. Alright, we'll talk about Storm Armor for a little bit. The 2 runes that we're going to focus on is Thunderstorm here, and it's getting a weapon damage increase from 194 up to 315%. And Shocking Aspect here, the Electrocute weapon damage is going from 51% to 425%. Now, this makes me excited to put another wizard build together. I was using a wizard build a while ago, but now I've been finding pieces of gear along the way that will definitely knock up the damage for my lightning skills, and this is definitely something I'm looking forward to using once the patch rolls out. Alright, and then next we're going to talk about the thing I'm probably second most excited about next to the Hydras, and that's the Firebird set. This is probably the first complete set that I found with my wizard, and I'm keep finding pieces that, you know, are getting a little better as I go along, and, you know, replacing those, changing those out. But it's getting a complete makeover. The 4-piece set bonus hasn't changed. The meteor still falls from the sky, 300-second cooldown. But the 6-piece set bonus, you're going to be dealing fire damage. This causes the enemy to take the same amount of damage over 3 seconds, stacking up to 3,000% weapon damage as fire per second. And now after they reach 3,000% damage per second, the enemy will burn until they die. So I think this is going to be the new set that everybody's out to get for the wizard. All the other classes seem to have, you know, sets and things that work together that really make them very powerful, and I think that we're going to see a lot of people running around with these Hydras and the Firebird set, and I think that's going to be probably the wizard's main go-to set there. So definitely looking forward to using the Firebirds. I'm still working on getting some better pieces. I have all the pieces, but I wouldn't mind if they were a little better, so I'll be working on that. Alright, well guys, I guess that's going to be it for me. These are just some of the patch notes. I'll go ahead and leave the link to the site for the full set of patch notes for each character down in the description below. You can go check that out. Hopefully you learned something that you didn't know before. If you know anything that I may not have mentioned, go ahead and let me know. I'm curious to find out everything I can. I'm eagerly awaiting the arrival of this. It's going to be an epic patch, and I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, guys, I want to say that this is all subject to change. This is all just how it is now. So if things do change a little bit when the patch comes out, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. They're just trying to see what works, what doesn't. I understand, but this is pretty incredible. You know, if it sticks to pretty much what is going on here and what they've got in the patch notes right now, you know, I'm all for it. Bring it on. So I guess that's it. Till next time, y'all stay beastin'. Peace out.